Namaste, it's the Spiritual Daywalker with your tarot card reading for the next new moon phase from 27th of August until 10th of September. It's Virgo season, and this new moon will also be in Virgo and Sagittarius. You've been cleaning house, and you've already been cleaning house. Now you're resetting the structure, and I feel like you could get lost in the sauce a little, but you're gonna experience some old structures which you are trying to change in a new way, because you are already a new person. You've made that decision already. You're just trying to, wrap things up, right? And it feels for you wrapping things up now, going like into Virgo season with the new moon in Virgo. That is you like going deep into it and experiencing an old you from a new you perspective. That could be quite interesting, especially for the explorer kind, which you are, Sagittarius. That being said, it is a general reading, so if the message doesn't resonate with you, feel free to drop the message. If it does resonate with you, drop a comment, like and subscribe, and share this reading to someone who might benefit from this reading style. If you're looking for a love reading, look somewhere else. There's enough on the internet. I don't do love readings. If love comes up in this reading, that is because you're projecting it. Because life is a self-fulfilling prophecy, and in the end, it's always about love, right? It's always about gaining that self-trust, self-confidence, self-love that then attracts beautiful people and situations into our life. So love is everywhere. Love is all around, and that's why I don't pose that question. So I'm very much interested how you are projecting this love is everywhere into this very, very structuring and restructuring phase of your life. Seems to be quite pivotal. Let's see. Two cards wanted to come out right now. Let's see what it is. In the spot of the 0, that is a Fool. The Fool is the very first card in the tarot. As a matter of fact, it's the 0. It is the impulse of the creator to start a new chapter, right? And that is what you're doing. So it seems like you're done clearing things out, but you're actually setting things up anew, right? Maybe a little of the clearing out is going on. Let's see. There is a Strength card in reverse, and I'm going to put it in the same spot because they fell out together, right? So backing this, it's like it's going to take some energy to get this going, of course, but you're a Sagittarius. That Leo energy, or Leo in Virgo energy, is nothing new for you. You are able to manage that quite well. Even if it's in reverse, it's kind of flipped on the Leo side. See, the Strength is basically energetically, astrologically speaking, Virgo in Leo. So the nurturer becoming very proud of their role and like very stepping into that leadership role. So if it's in reverse, the Leo, the pride and the sheer want and wanting to lead and control is more in the foreground. So let's see how this goes for you, because the Fool energy with a little like that too much fire, it can result in being a little, not, I don't want to say hasty, but maybe impatient with starting this, because you've been wrapping it up already, right? So like, when can we start? When can we like go back to setting up this new life, right? Now let's see. Funny thing is, this new moon actually is in Virgo, but coming out of Leo, right? So there is that energy. So there is that energy right there. So with this new moon, probably a new phase for you is already starting, where you wrapping up, or rather experiencing the old you from a new perspective, is already part of that new chapter. It might be looking like still tying up loose ends for you, but it's already setting you up for the big new chapter. So keep that in mind if you're kind of getting itchy, right, and a little impatient. Let's see in the spot of the 9 what you're actually gaining from this experience, what it's all about. The High Priestess. Didn't I say patience, right? That is you just being more of the observer, right? You're not exactly stagnant, right? But you're not pushing forward also. You're just like take in stock in a sense of like let your intuition guide you on where your energy is needed and where your energy is actually, well, wasted, right? That high priestess is you stepping in your trust and your self-worth and all that, and trusting that you are well on your way of getting this fool going, right? Your intuition is going to take over, even though you are in a very cognitive phase of like, okay, what do we need to do now, right? Very interesting. The high priestess is a beautiful spot to have in the 9, because the 9, I mean, the 9 is the spirit number. And for those who are like into math magicians and know about the 3, the 6, and the 9, they know the 9 is everywhere and nowhere at the same time. It is our connection to spirit. So that high priestess in that spot, very, very beautiful sign, especially when you're coming from a fool, right? Let's see what you're manifesting in your reality. There's that star in reverse. So dealing with that impatience where you're like, but I wanted to start something new. Why do I have to take care of this shit now? I'm totally in the fool energy. And there I go, projecting a star in reverse in my reality where I'm like, I kind of know I'm on the right way, but am I doing something wrong here? Why isn't it looking like the way I want it to go? Why do I have to go deeper into this shit where I'm already, my headspace is already in the new shit, right? Yeah, that's because reviewing that from a different perspective is going to give you a lot for that new beginning. So you are on your path, you are guided, right? But it might not feel like it at first, or not look at it like it on the surface, right? Luckily, you are in the higher priestess, so you're not exactly about the surface. You know exactly that there's something greater underneath and that you're well on your way of like doing this, right? Now let's see how the energies are balancing around this axis. Yeah, there's the Empress in reverse. So that's first step of your journey right here, is that Empress in reverse where you're like, okay, intuition is nice, but we actually have to do some things here right now, and somehow logic is needed, and like especially progressiveness is needed, right? Where you're kind of cutting with your feminine receptive aspect and you're like, okay, I gotta handle this shit now, I gotta get active now, right? And you're like kind of reluctantly moving out of this insightfulness. What you not know at this point is that the high priestess is part of that way, so it's going to come back, but in a more in a different manner, in a more streamlined manner towards whatever it is you want to accomplish here. Let's see, the Empress is balanced out on the other side with that Son of Cups, so that is you being very controlled with your emotions, right? Looking at that Empress, it's like, okay, you gotta, and I kind of get the sense that it's someone else in your reality, that it is a love offering, right? The Son of Cups might be actually a love offering, yeah? So, I don't know if you're already back in the sauce yet, right? If you're already back in a, in that old environment where someone is like, yeah, but we miss you, right? Being all Son of Cups here, it's like, we love you, we miss you, why don't you, right? And this is kind of fucking with your insight, with your intuition, what you actually wanted to do, and you're like, okay, yeah, you know, I'm feeling it too, I love you guys too, right? That could be it, right? It can be, so in that sense, it can be a sense of nostalgia, right? Where that is very much tied to other people, or maybe someone from the new world that be like, I hate that you gotta go, I will miss you so much, please come back soon. Yeah, so of course with this fool there is a little nostalgia involved that is going to make you struggle with following your intuition in a sense, a little like, well, struggling is a big word, right? It's more like doubting it, or being very in the moment, right? And not in the moment in the sense of like, I'm meditating myself into oblivion, but being in a moment like, okay, hands on, I got to do this now. We got to take care of their emotions, got to take care of my emotions, right? It's like, it's a hands-on approach about matters of the heart right here, because it's a sun, right? So it's a progressive energy. It's like I have to share my feelings, and feelings are being shared with me, right? In a sense, proactively, right? So let's see what you're gaining from this Empress and Son of Cups, where you're like very emotional but somehow progressive about it. There's a Two of Swords in reverse, where you're letting your guard down. Or maybe struggling to let your guard down because you're like, oh, I'm sorry, I gotta do this, right? I can't cry with you right now because like I'm on the move, right? But somehow this Two of Swords is challenged, right? Some mindset is challenged which you use to protect yourself, right? Where you actually like, I can't go into this emotion right now that is triggered by that Son of Cups, right? Because then I'm gonna cry myself, right? But you can't get around it. That Son of Cups is a very compelling love offering that is like, well, you can't be cold about this. The Son of Cups comes in, you can't be cold. That person is going to confront you with your own emotionality, whether you want it or not. And that Two of Swords seems like you actually want to be open, but you want to somehow protect your heart because you want to be like capable of moving forward, right? But it's going to be challenged, and that's a good thing. That is a good thing, and we're going to see why exactly in a second. Surrounding that High Priestess, in the spot of the Four, there's a Hangman in reverse. Someone had the exact same card in that exact same placement, and that was, what did I do before? I know, of course, Scorpio. I'm going in order here. Yeah, Scorpio had a Hangman in the same placement, but however, it was not in reverse. Yours is in reverse, which kind of means you're already moving. It's not a warning sign of the universe to get going. You're already moving. Now, I'm very much interested in how this balances out, because the High Priestess is looking onto the other side, and there's that Hierophant, motherfucker. The Hierophant is like, and the Hierophant and the High Priestess are together. Like, yeah, someone could say I should shuffle better, right? But however, this is the universe speaking, right? Because it is a pivotal change, and it's you setting up your life in a different way, right? So it fits so well. It fits so well in here. So however this shuffling thing works, it's still Schrodinger's cards. It's still the universe popping out the exact same 3 cards in the exact same row. So, well, what are the fucking odds with or without shuffling? I mean, like, this is amazing. This is really amazing. You being in your High Priestess, and yeah, and looking at that Hierophant. So you're following your calling here, right? And your calling is to live by the rules you set for yourself already, and not give in to your comfort zone, but actually keep moving, right? Keep moving, because you know whatever happens in this upper row, well, the Empress is a major arcana, but here the middle row is so fucking strong, right? It's a Hangman, High Priestess, and a Hierophant. And it's like you kind of made up your mind, and you're so on your way. Like, there is that star, and even though the way might not seem clear, right? Even if you don't see the star, you know it is there, because that High Priestess and that Hierophant is like, the High Priestess knows and trusts, the Hierophant sets the rules of the game, and it seems to be a new game, right? However, I'm very much interested how this decoded or encoded nostalgia in this first row is kind of challenging you with that Two of Swords in manifestation. So in the row of the manifestation, there is the Eight of Wands. That is, well, I'd say news coming in, but it's not news for you if you're, right, if you're going for it. It's communication, right? It's you getting things in order, getting what you want, working for what you want, and knowing what you want, right? But there's a lot of things to handle. It's not a Ten of Wands. You're not overbeared by it. You're very clear on what you need to get going here. It's a strong desire. That's very beautiful. And it's coming from that Hierophant. See, like the Empress in reverse is like you getting out of the passive mode into the Hierophant, where you're like, I know how I want my world to be. I make the rules here, right? Because intuitively from the High Priestess, I know I can, and I know that the way to go. And that Hierophant right here diagonally becomes that Eight of Wands, where you're like, and this is exactly what I want and what I need to do right now. Your desire is like you being guided by that lightning bolt. So very, very beautiful, right? You know that star is there if you don't, even if you don't see it. On the other side, there's Judgment. Judgment. It's a card for setting yourself free, but it's also a card for, guess what? Judgment, right? So you're making a judgment call right here, trusting your gut, right? And knowing that if you use like sound logic and be true to your own morals, be true to your own system, your beliefs, if you don't compromise that, then you are going to set yourself free. You are very guided right here. And the Judgment is also a card for having to make a decision that is not exactly comfortable, but you feel comfortable in making it. Does that make sense? Like, you know you're doing the right thing, even if there's like, if it's bittersweet, right? So Judgment can be bittersweet, right? It has to be fair though, right? It's not the Justice, but it has to be fair. And it seems like it is, because you got a Hierophant and a High Priestess right here, right? And you're on the move, but you're divinely guided, even if you don't see it right away. And yeah, let's see what in that manifestation actually is waiting for you here. There's that nostalgia. There's that Six of Cups. The Six of Cups is you revisiting feelings from the past. So learning something about it, right? Especially if it's in a spot of the Six, that is an insight about your past and about how you were acting emotionally, from what emotions you were functioning in the past, right? But that is only shown to you by dealing with that past, right? So you are setting yourself free from that, making a judgment call about who you were versus who you want to be, right? So what seems to be a challenge at first, right? Like being emotionally challenged in a very positive way, because that Son of Cups be like, oh, come on, man, this is not easy, right? Let me cry with you, right? Or woman, for that matter. Like, could be anybody, but it feels like you are wrestling with your emotions, because whatever you're trying to start here is confronting you with it, right? But you're so divinely guided, like your inner sense of having to do this, of hearing that calling is so strong that you have to face it, and you will be able to face it, right? And you're getting an insight, that Eight of Wands, through that communication and through like going through it in your mind versus what you desire. Like your desires have changed, but you've taken care of stuff, and then you look at your past and your old self in a way, and set yourself free from that, making a decision on who you want to be. And I also get the sense that like Judgment, I mean, like this is you in a problem solving mode, right? And in a very divine problem solving mode. It's not just like fending off swords or whatever, right? This is really you taking care of shit in a big way. And I feel like this Judgment, like what I basically said in the beginning, right? This Judgment, taking care of shit, and taking care of shit from the past, is going to feel like it's a distraction from where you actually want to go. But as a matter of fact, what you don't exactly see, but you know it's there, it is a preparation, not a distraction. It is getting all that old shit out of the way, like leaving old baggage behind, and in that process realizing something about the person you were and the person you're gonna be or decided to be and are guided to be. So this is very, very freaking beautiful. Sagittarius, whenever you think you cannot give in to those feelings, you're probably not getting around it, right? However, you're so strong, your conviction of stepping into a new world, basically, into that chapter that the Fool foreshadows here, or the decision you made, that conviction is so strong. And yeah, you don't be afraid of losing your way. You're very much on your way, no matter how deep you have to go through, like how deep you have to dig for those roots to glow like this, you know. But you are very much on your way, and you're gonna have some beautiful, beautiful conversations, some deep insights about the things that made you who you are, and why you hear that calling, and why you hear that calling so well. Because this is you being very fucking magical, right? Sagittarius. That is amazing. That is you, like, living your life in a dream state, like a movie in front of your eyes, where you like have to make decisions and be hands-on, but you're still in observer mode, like you have it both here, right? Very spiritually guided. It's not even like you actually have to make decisions, because you're so guided that you automatically kind of know what to do. What you need here is to listen, right? And to your intuition, not only, but the emotions that bubble up and what they tell you about yourself, because that's why you're taking that look into the past. Not to challenge you, right? And like the universe sometimes is asking you whether you really want it and how much you're willing to do for it. No. Like, it's also already said and done, right? It's already set in stone. You're moving towards that. But having to take a look that deep in your roots and your emotional body, in a sense, is very much you setting yourself up for following that star. And like, I'm telling you nothing new. Like, you're that intuitive right now. Basically, everything I say is gonna ring with you like, yeah, of course I know, right? Yeah, then see this this reading as a confirmation that you really are, and that it's gonna show you something about yourself and your old self that is gonna make your new self fly, like really fucking fly, right? So you're losing that baggage. Sagittarius, what a wonderful reading, what a wonderful chapter you're moving into now, or like the metamorphosis that you're going through right now seems very pivotal, beautiful, and yeah, like, stick with that conviction, stay strong in your intuition. That is so cool. Sagittarius, if that resonated with you and you were going like, yeah, of course I know, then let me know. Like and subscribe and leave me a comment and whatever. Give me some feedback, and very much enjoy this energy. This is so cool. Sagittarius, I love you.